Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So today I've got another unboxing for you. As we can tell from the box, this is a narwhal. It's a Narwhal Nautilus. Looking forward to unboxing this one. So join me now down on the mat. We'll take it out of the box, look at the pen, we'll ink it up, do a writing sample, and then I'll give you my first impressions of this pen. Welcome down to the mat. Unfortunately, the box, it doesn't quite fit in the camera, so we're going to miss a little bit from the bottom. But we'll take a quick look around. So we've got the logo there. On the side, we've got a narwhal label saying this is a Nautilus. Front, as I said, we've got the logo. The back, also got the logo. Other than that, it's just a plain box. So I'm going to open it up. Just get my fingers in here. There we go. And then we'll slowly fetch out this box. There we go. So inside that outer box, that outer sleeve, we've got another box. Lovely presentation, just plain white. Narwhal Nautilus there on the cover. Again, that's it. Nothing else on there. Now the Nautilus, the name from that, it comes from the Latin form of an ancient Greek word for sailor. It's a marine mollusk and it's part of the cephalopod family Nautilidae. The Nautilus is the sole extant family member of the superfamily Nautilucae, and it's smaller but equally near to the suborder Nautilina. Sounds really scientific, doesn't it? Personally, I like to think about it coming from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and the name of Captain Nemo's submarine. That to me is what Nautilus shouts. So now we've gone through that, let's take a look inside this box. The front of it, I'm just going to lift this up here. It's got a little magnetic catch. So this front just lifts up. There, it snaps back down. Nice little touch that. But to be honest, once this box is open and empty, I won't be using it again. So let's open it up, and we've got in here, we've got a narwhal information card. Over on the back is instructions on how to fill it and any warranty details. Inside that, this is what we're after. We've got a pen inside a plastic sleeve. I'll lift the pen out and move the box out of the way. There you are, fetching my pen rest. Pop the pen on there. So we're still in the wrapper, let's slowly ease it out. And that reveals this gorgeous pen. This is the Pelagia Noctiluca. And yes, I know I've just butchered that completely. I'm afraid my pronunciation of Latin words is not very good. It's named after a jellyfish, and it's the only recognised species of that genus. This jellyfish has got some common names. You know, they're things like the morph stinger, the purple striped jelly, the purple stinger, my favourite, the purple people eater. And you can see in this pen where purple is definitely coming in. I'm just going to slowly turn this around. Look at the colours in there. I can see purples, I can see some blue, some pink, some, I don't know, I would call it a greeny blue. So they turn it around. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the colouring on this. And look at that, we've got a nice patch of red there. Now, one of the things with this pen, and we'll cover this more when we do the walkthrough, is these three portholes. And that to me, I've got to be honest, that's why I think about Captain Nemo and the Nautilus on the submarine. Look at that. They're just like them little holes that you're inside your submarine and you're looking out and watching what's going on outside. I mean, I know they double up as ink windows, but I think it just looks nice. Let's take a quick walk through the pen. So at the top, we've got a gold trim. We're coming down into the actual cap. So it curves up from that little button and then down the actual cap. And that cap, it's the same width all the way down. We've got a clip here. That's extremely stiff. I can't, just about really, really stiff. So I'll need to experiment with that with taking it in and out of shirt pockets. Bottom of the cap, we've got this band here. Just going to turn it around there. And then spin that around so we can see it. That looks really nice, doesn't it? there's a tiny step down from the cap to the body. I notice it when I'm rubbing my fingers over it, but I don't think it's going to bother me too much. The body itself is then the same width all the way down. So we come to another gold band, and then we've got the filler cap. If I twist this filler cap, that comes out nicely. It's nice and smooth. You can see here on the ink window, let me move my hand, where it's now covered, and then as I fetch that plunger back up, it gets uncovered. This material is ebonite, so it feels nice in the hand. I'm just going to have a quick smell. So I've seen a number of reports where people say it smells. When it's right up close to my nose, I would say it smells very, very, very slightly of cabbage. And if I wasn't trying to pick it up, I wouldn't notice. So I don't think it's a major issue with the smell. Okay, let's take the cap off. So we go half, 1, 1.5, 2, about 2 1/4 turns to take that cap off, and that reveals this nib. Now the trim and the nib, on the websites I've seen, they say it's rose gold. I've got to be honest, it just looks like normal gold to me. Let's take a closer look at the nib. So it's a fairly standard narwhal nib. Starting at the top, we've got some scroll work. We come down to the breather hole, the narwhal symbol, and then a little bit more scroll work. There's nothing on the nib that says what its size is, but I ordered the extra broad or the double broad. So coming from the nib, we come into the section. The section, it starts off wide. We've got that little lip on the bottom. It quickly drops down, and then the section slowly tapers out until it gets to the threads. That lip at the bottom, it's not too uncomfortable. It's fairly nice. The pen itself fits nicely in my hand unposted. Will it post? No. So it's a pen you've got to use unposted, which for me is fine because that's how I like to use my pens. Just pop that back on. Going to now swap over and we'll do some size comparisons. So the first pens we're going to look at, we've got a Pilot Metropolitan and a Lamy Safari. Definitely longer than both of those, isn't it? I'll take the caps off just so we can look at the nibs next to each other. Just line up the nibs so they're all got the same starting point. So that number 6 nib on the narwhal definitely domineers both of those pens, doesn't it? I'll get these two out of the way. The next two pens I'm going to fetch in. They're both by Narwhal. So here I've got the Narwhal Key West and also the Narwhal Schuylkill. So the nibs on the Key West and the Nautilus, they're identical. And apart from the colour, I think the one on the Schuylkill is also a similar nib. Size-wise, the Key West, just that little bit shorter. But the Schuylkill, well, it looks roughly the same size. I'm going to pop the caps on. So there's the Schuylkill. There's the Nautilus. And then the Key West. Get all these lined up. There we go. With the cap on, the Nautilus ever so slightly longer than the Schuylkill and definitely longer than the Key West. Two more pens to check it out against. So these two pens, they're in the same price range. The Narwhal, that was at 196 Australian dollars. Going to compare that against a Platinum 3776 Century, which was $200, and also a TWSBI Draco, which is $215. So of these, the Narwhal, definitely the longer of them. Let's take the caps off. So with the 3776, that's got a gold nib. The Narwhal, although the nib is gold coloured, it's actually steel. And then the TWSBI, again, a steel nib, rose gold coloured. And this is why I think the actual colouring is gold on the Narwhal, not rose gold. The TWSBI has only got a number 5 nib, where the Narwhal has got a number 6 nib. And in terms of length, that Platinum, definitely a lot shorter. The TWSBI and the Narwhal, I would say roughly the same size. I'm now going to step away from the desk. I'm going to give the Narwhal a good clean out. When I come back, we'll take a look at the ink, fill the pen, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my first impressions. So here I am back. I always like to clean out my pens before I first use them, just to make sure that any excess oils or any little burrs, I get rid of them before I put any ink in it. The ink I'm going to use today is this one. This is by Diamine. It was part of the Inkvent 2021 and it's called Sieze The Night. Now this to me is a gorgeous brown ink, but I also see a lot of purple in here. So I think the purple, if it comes out, is going to look really nice. I think as a match, it's actually fairly good. Yes, there's no brown in the pen, but when we've got them purples coming through, I think that will really look nice in this pen. So let me fetch in the ink. So here we are, Sieze The Night. It says it's a standard ink, but as I say, I do see a fair bit of complexity in it when I look at it on that swatch card. Now the question is, will the pen fit into the bottle? Because it's a really tiny bottle, it's only got a small opening. Oh, it just fits in there. So let's fill this pen. There we are, we can see now we've got some ink because we can see it through them portholes. We just wipe this off, there we go, and get rid of that bottle of ink. Going to fetch in my notepad. So as usual for tests like this, I'm using some Oxford paper. This is in a black and red notepad, A5 size. I love the Oxford paper. Let's jump in and start writing. So we have here a Narwhal Nautilus. And this is in a double broad or an extra broad, however you want to call it. The ink, Diamine Sieze The Night. Drying times, so immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, then finally 1 minute. After a minute, slightly smudging still. I'm going to move the mic closer to the paper so you can hear the pen write. Now I'm going to test to see if there's any line variation. So this is gentle and this is with a bit of pressure. So we are getting a slightly wider line. Let's do some S's. Yeah, I like the look of that. So my writing tests, it's a really nice experience. It's very smooth to write with. Now, I hope you could hear when I was doing my Grumpy Wizards, but there's definitely some noise coming off it. It's, yeah, a bit like a pencil when I'm writing on paper. That's the sort of noise I'm hearing. I quite like it. I really do. I like the double broad nib. I like the line it's given me. It's a really character-filled line. I like the ink in here. So it's definitely brown. You can see the brown coming through. But where I was doing my smear tests here, you can see that purple that's in there as well. So it's not just a flat brown colour. On my lines here where I was doing my line variation, you can see, yes, with pressure, you can get a darker and slightly thicker line. Where it was light though, at the top, we've got a little bit of shade in there. There's not a lot of shading coming through in my writing there. So I don't think as a combination, it's going to be overly shading, which is fine. In the hand, is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. It fits so nicely. It's a nice, comfortable pen. Really easy to write with. I love the looks of this pen. I love the colours. Let me go around one more time. I think it's so nice. I'm glad I got this one rather than the black or the bronze colour because I think it's got that little bit more interest. It was hard to get hold of this pen. I eventually managed to find it on Cult Pens, and as soon as I did, I ordered it straight away. And I'm glad I did, because within hours it was sold out. So I think it's a pen that I'm glad I jumped on. I would like to try this pen with some different nib sizes, so I may try and convince the wife that I need another 1 or 2 of them, maybe to get that black and that bronze colour, but with different nib sizes in, rather than this double broad. Although I've got to be honest, the double broad is really nice. Overall, it's a really nice purchase. So my only real concern is around the cost. It's not a cheap pen, 196 Australian dollars. That's a lot of money. Is it worth it? At the moment, I'm on the fence. I've only written with it this little bit, so I've not had a lot of experience writing with it. When I compare it against that Platinum, it's got a gold nib. When I compare it against the TWSBI, well, yes, it's worth it, because I think the TWSBI is overpriced anyway. I need to think then about the price if I'm going to buy some more. And yes, I know this was the special edition one, so it was actually priced higher than the other two, but I don't know, I'm on the fence about that one. But this is the Narwhal Nautilus Pelagia Noctiluca with Diamine Sieze The Night. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What do you think to the Narwhal Nautilus? What do you think to Narwhal pens in general? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit that thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment. Well, it just helps to tweak the YouTube algorithm for my videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.